Shalom. All right, Akim. And to you sisters too, Akwatium. I don't know if you've seen this video, but it came out a few months back, and it's pretty much going into it's demonstrating the MOTB to Mark Beasley. You know, and this is just proof of how close we are. This is a New Balance commercial, which is a commercial promoting Kawhi Leonard's new shoe, I believe. And in it, they use him to, you know, based off what he's known for, which is the claw, his hand, you know, to show forth that MOTB of what it's going to be. And if you actually look at the title, you see it's called the Kawhi 2 New Money, which we know is exactly what's on the way. A new currency, you know, which is going to be in the form of, you know, a digital mechanism, which is that grain of rice. But, you know, to say the least, you know, you see it's done by New Balance, which, you know, is all a play on what's, you know, on what is actually going on, which is the accomplishing of the NWO enterprise. All right, but I'll say less and let you watch the video.
So tell me, Kawhi, do you believe in anything?
Of course, I believe in a lot of things.
Let me show you.
Where am I?
Is in your hands. Some people.
So as you see, you know, it's a lot of references, subliminals. You see right here, you know, San Diego 2011 Palm Readers Den. All right, a lot of things were said. Your fate is in your hand. He didn't know where he was at. All right, he had no clue where he was at. You know, it's targeting Jake. You know, which is gonna be, or is targeting Jake for the highest, to do the highest form of idolatry that one could think of, which, you know, a brother, you know, reference, and that's true. This getting this MOTB, this Mark Beasley, is the highest form of idolatry that you could do. So that's why the judgment for it is you know, the Lord's wrath being poured out like fire, you know, as a fire without you know, out of a cup without a chaser, you know, no mercy. You know, so this whole world of him being an NBA superstar and whatnot, hopefully you can hear me, is gonna be, you know, continued. It's gonna be based off whether or not he gets it. So that's that new world that these NBA players and all these people about to come to know in order to what? To buy or sell, man. Including your regular Jakes, your everyday citizens. So you see it right there. She cutting his hand open, his right hand. All right. And going into what? His anatomy. All right, bio, showing you what that this exactly is gonna, this, man, it's spot on. The new currency is gonna be bio-based, so-called biocompatible. You know, This is what's to come. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 8:5. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? Which is how we know this, which is how we know what's to come, which is how we know what to not do regarding and, what's to come. How to not deal with what's to come. Why not to deal with what's to come, which is that, Mark Beasley. So that's something that these Israelites, they don't have, but they just desire the riches. So it says, if riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things? And if prudence work, who of all that is a more cunning workman than she? Right. So you make moves for your future to be stable. Your people always think about their future regarding what they might have to do in order to maintain and continue. They always think about future in that way, and that's what prudence goes into. Your future, which means acting and showing care for one's future. That's what prudence is. But to be prudent is to have wisdom ultimately. And what does wisdom ultimately take you to? It says, if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teaches temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire experience, she knoweth things of old and conjectureth aright what is to come. There it is. So this is how we know this to come, because we got wisdom. Wisdom can tell you what's to come. Wisdom deals with prudence. In order for you to maintain and be stable in the future, it's the opposite of what Esau is telling you. Because when you go back to the video, in order for him to receive, everything he had, pretty much that shoe, and then that woman, she was like a left-hand side of wisdom. She's like a representation of wisdom. That's how wisdom will work with you, show you what's to come. But that was that world's wisdom. But in order for him to receive everything, right, in the future, that shoe and all of that, that wisdom, that woman had to open his palm. That woman had to open his right hand in order for him to get it. And then when she did it to him, he was like, what is this? Where am I? It's a whole new world. So in order for him to continue his get to the the next point in his career, he had to do that first, which was getting that shoe, selling shoes, buying shoes. That was his shoe. But in order for him to do it, he had to get that, get his hand, marked, man. It's just that, it's plain. All right. And that's off. So we got a wisdom that tell you about how that's actually gonna come, who's compared to a woman, and you can't do that, but that's just showing you that that's to come, and it's just that simple, man. It's crazy. It says, she knoweth the subtlety of speeches, and that was the subtlety, that was craft. All right, what they really trying to tell you in that commercial, subliminal. It says, and can expound dark sentences, so she could see past things. She could see what most are in the dark about. It says, what's dark to most, she could see it for what it is. All right. It says, she foreseeth signs and wonders and the events of seasons and times. So there it goes. So that was a sign, and it's showing you a season is approaching, which is why they made that commercial. And that shows you the times we living in and are about to be living in, which are completely evil. All right. And that goes into what Jeremiah, also second, which is Jeremiah 28:16 and Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So there you go. Evil means what? Bad times. Eve being time and ill meaning bad. The prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent him. But there is no peace coming. This is what's actually coming. Revelation 13 and 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. Kawhi trying to sell a new shoe, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So there it is, that NB, that mark. All right, the new balance. Okay, and that's why it's called new money, because money goes back to balance, balancing things on the scale, in order to, buy or sell. But anyway, that's what's to come. So this is to come first before the peace, which is going to be in the kingdom of heaven. But this got to come first. Got a couple more. 1 Corinthians 4. And I'm going to actually start at 5. Therefore, judge nothing before the time. You know what? Ephesians 5 and 13. We'll go here first. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. Yeah, and this is obviously something that is to come, dealing with what he's seen. That Mark Beasley is clearly coming, man. And it's being reproved. And it says, but all things that are reproved, not approved of, meaning are made manifest by the light. And what's the light? Obviously this word. So something like what Kawhi had got into wouldn't be approved. It would be reproved. And it's clear that that's something not approved of court, because of the light. Because of this word, which is obviously light. We're enlightened on that. For whatsoever make manifest is light. And it's clear that's what's to come. So that's how we know we're enlightened. All right. So this is 1 Corinthians 4 and 5. Therefore judge nothing before the time until the Lord come, who both will bring to light the hidden things of darkness. And that's exactly what this is the darkness, that Satan, through the so-called white man, is bringing, man. The so-called white man is Satan. He's Satan on earth, man. He's Satan, he's Satan's physical counterpart, Shatan's physical counterpart. It says so, and will make manifest the counsels of the heart, right? What they're actually working on. All right. That's what the word gonna do, Yahweh Shah. But he doing it now in the spirit, right? It says, and then shall every man have praise of God. So we gonna see who's actually off and what was, going against God the whole time. All right, so yeah. So Lord, when you've been edified, Shalom.
So tell me, Kawhi, do you believe in anything?
Of course, I believe in a lot of things.
Let me show you.
Where am I?
Is in your hands.
Old Spice.
And this RFID chip will be in this mark of the beast. This mark will be in the form of the RFID, micro grain, chip, and the size of a grain of rice. Don't take it. All right.